then you talk. Hey, Facebook, look who we have. Mr. Irvin Randle on the phone, on the line. We can see him. What's up, buddy?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing excellent now that you're on here.
Good. Good.
Everybody has been waiting on this. I've had so many calls on yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I've had so many calls on Monday for Thursday.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I appreciate it.
I tell you, people have been waiting to see this one.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. Well, I'm here. I'm right here in Houston. Yeah.
Exactly. You're right here in Houston. I'm so glad about it that we have an opportunity for you to come on here, and we are coming up on the radio.
Okay.
All righty. Here we go. Hmm. Well, let's get started. This is Cam Hill on the Cam Hill Show on GMT Radio, Monday through Friday, 12:30 to 1:30. And we have the infamous, the magnificent, my friend, Irvin Randle, style influencer, model, actor, educator, and stylist. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing awesome. How are you?
Man, I'm so excited that you are here. I'm telling you.
Thank you for having me. Man, when you reached out to me, I was like, okay, yeah, I could do this. I usually keep myself real private, so I said, yeah, I could do this.
You did say keep it private, absolutely.
Yeah, I keep myself private. I do. I stay shut in at the house here, so yeah, I keep it private.
You sure do. So many people said, hey man, we know exactly who he is. You earned your education, bachelor's degree at Texas Southern University, and your master's at Prairie View.
Yes. PV, you know.
How in the world did you become Mr. Steal Your Grandma?
You know, Cam, with taking pictures and everything, I enjoyed taking pictures. I wasn't afraid of it. And just out there taking pictures, you know, I would stop anybody if I was by myself. And I thought that was the moment that I felt good and I looked good. I would stop and say, hey, can you take my picture? And I can tell you just doing that. And then when I would go out with my friends and my family, I would ask them, you know, to take pictures. Right. And they got so tired of it. One of my best friends that lives here in Houston, she would buy me a selfie stick. And I can tell you, I put that selfie stick to work, you know. And then my daughter told me, she said, well, Dad, you don't have to run like that. We can see you running when you're taking your pictures. And she said, you know, there's a timer on your phone. And when I found that out, it was on. It was on.
Oh, you can do them yourself now.
I was my own photographer, so.
Well, I tell you, I've had so many, again, calls from the ladies, and they said, we want to see him, Cam. If you don't get anybody else, we want him on the line. I tell you, we were just talking about how all this started. You are a teacher, HISD.
Yes, I'm still into education. Yeah. Actually, I'm going into my 28th year. I have 2 more years, yes. I have 2 more years and I'm going to retire. Actually, I was going to retire when this started for me, but I said, no, I had always said I'll work till I'm 60 and so I'm trying to commit to that.
I love the fact that you have decided to educate children.
Yes.
What was your thought? How did you decide that?
You know, I could tell you, I used to work for a major airline, and I was one of those people. And I could tell you, if I could handle 200 people on a plane, I can handle 22. So you know, and meeting educators, and they're just influencing me. Hey, come on, be a teacher. You know, I used to sit and talk to them, and I just thought about it, and I said, okay, I'll give it a try, you know. And that first year, I can tell you, it was horrible. You know, those kids were horrible. You know, I didn't go in. I went in with the wrong plan, and then I had a great mentor, and she came in and she said, "No, you can't come in like that." And I just sit and watch her teach, and then I learned some of her habits, which were helping me to get the kids to be successful. And I can tell you that stuck with me from that day to this day. And I tell you, when I go in there, man, those kids are almost like my kids, you know. When I walk in that classroom, you know, not only am I the teacher, I'm the lawyer, I'm the doctor, I'm the nurse, I'm the uncle, I'm the dad, I'm everything in there, you know. You know, they've gotten so comfortable with me. I'm in first grade now, and they got so comfortable with me in first grade, they start calling me Dad. Hey, Dad, Daddy. And I was like, no, I'm Mr. Randle. I'm Mr. Daddy, tell him to stop, Dad. I said, no, don't you, no, Mr. Randle, Mr. Randle. So they've gotten so comfortable with me, and I appreciate that. So that tells me with their learning and everything that we try to accomplish in the classroom, it is very successful because they believe in me and they trust me.
Your style is so amazing, my friend. You have your own distinguished style. They call you the Dapper Silver Fox.
Yes, they do. I heard.
I've heard that quite a bit.
Yes.
How did style come about for you?
You know, with me, I've been dressing like this all my life. Yeah. If you will go back to elementary, I went to Turner Elementary. I went to Cullen Junior High for a week. They put me out. I was a tough cat. So then I had to go live with my grandmother and moving in South Park. I went to Albert Thomas and Sterling. So everywhere I went, they knew I was a sharp dresser. I was, you know, my mom used to work at Sackwoods. So I didn't get, you know, I got some good things coming out of Sackwoods. So, you know, Sackwoods and Frost Brothers, you know, a lot of people don't know about those stores. So my mother would shop there for me. And then when I got up of age where I would go and pick out my own clothes, you know, that's when it really started for me, what I wanted to dress and what I wanted to wear. But I also had that key part in my life, which was that GQ magazine, you know. Yeah, that played a major part in my life. I was looking at these guys, how they were dressing, you know, how to keep yourself up in good condition and all these kind of things. Even though my father and grandfather and my uncle was around, you know, they did it, but I just needed to see it somewhere else. I just thought it was just home based. And that just motivated me with my style, my development, where I wanted to go. Had no idea this would happen to me now because of it. But, you know, I could tell you with the clothes, I love going shopping and things like that. A lot of people think I just run to the mall and buy one thing at a time. So when I go shopping, you know what I mean?
When you go shopping, you go shopping.
I go shopping. So, you know, all those things played a big factor, how I dress now. And, you know, getting and seeing things out there on social media. And I said, oh, they're wearing skinny pants, you know, because the States is always pretty much, when you find out about fashion, the States is almost a year behind what's coming out. You know, most of our fashion come from Europe. So when you get those things, and I start looking into Europe, what are they wearing over there? You know, when you wear it over here, you know, people look at you and say, oh, he's strange. That's strange looking. But no, that's what they're wearing. And I start doing that here. And that's, oh, Irvin is so strange. And, you know, but I was kind of a time ahead of myself. And then when I found out fitted and skinny jeans and all, when I found out about that, I said, oh, yeah, I'm getting me a pair, you know. So wearing those things like that at my age and showing that I can still hold it down as a gentleman, you know, and taking that to the next level so the other guys can see it too. Now, skinny jeans are not for everybody.
I think Tim Thorne brought that up.
Yeah, they're not for everybody. So don't run and get your pair of skinny jeans because I say it so. Yeah, because it's not for everybody. You have to be fit. For me, I could tell you, Cam, I was almost pushing 280. And when I say that, I was packing on the weight. I was a guy that sit on the sofa and just eat chips and ice cream and watch TV and watch my kids grow up.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I could honestly tell you, I saw my son, he started talking about he wanted to get married and have children. That motivated me to get up, go to the doctor, see if I'm able to work out and run, because I didn't want to make sure I get out there and have a heart attack or something.
Yeah.
So going to the doctor as a black man, I wasn't afraid. I sit there on the table and I say, hey man, can I run? Can I jog? Can I exercise? He said, yeah, you could do it, but start out at a slower pace for yourself and then gradually build up. And that's what I did. And the weight started dropping off and I started buying the clothes tighter and tighter. So that pretty much helped me. It all came as a puzzle, and the pieces just start falling into place for me where I wanted to go, what I was doing. I never thought I would influence anybody as far as how I was dressing, but obviously I have.
Let's talk about how this started. I think we talked about that. It was started with a picture. How did that start?
Like I said, I was on Facebook and I would post, and the guys would always inbox me, message me, hey, Irvin, what's Sunday fun day? What you wearing to work on Monday? What do you wear to work? What kind of shoes do you wear? And I would post things. I would take pictures and post things. And there's one particular guy on there who is from North Carolina. And he followed me and we follow each other. I don't even know who this guy. I didn't know. How you just accept who they are.
Right.
And so he sent me a message and he said, hey man, I like your style. He asked me first, are you over 50? And I said, yes, I am. He said, well, I'm on Instagram and you can look at my page and everything. I said, okay. He said, but I like the way you dress. And I said, okay, thank you. He said, well, I want to take some pictures off your page if you don't mind and post them on Instagram. And I can tell you, Cam, I may have had maybe 100 followers on Instagram, maybe. I was pretty much afraid of Instagram, that I was more comfortable with Facebook.
Right.
And he picked the 6 pictures, and I told him, I said, okay, let me know which pictures you're going to take. I said, I'm a school teacher because there's some pictures on there that I have on my swimming trunk, so I don't want you to put nothing out there real crazy about me. So he did, and I can tell you, man, working summer school, he sent the pictures back to me. He said, these are the 6 pictures I'm going to put on Instagram. I said, okay, cool, man, that's good. And I went to bed, man, didn't think nothing about it. I had to get up the next morning. I had to be at work at 7:30. And I can tell you, when I walked in at 7:32, he's calling me on my phone. And I looked at my phone and I said, what does this guy want? What does he want? Immediately, I got mad because I thought to myself, oh, he did something, And he did something crazy. So I answered the phone and I said, hello. And the way that he said, Irvin, it just sent a chill all through my body, man. I just wanted, I couldn't move. I stopped. And he said, Irvin. And I went in after him. I said, man, whatever you do with my pictures, take them down. Take them down. And he said, no, it's nothing like that. He said, you're not going to believe this. I am on the East Coast, right? And he said, I posted the 6 pictures. He said, but what social media is doing, they've taken 3 of them and put them side by side, and they want to know who this guy is, right? And I said, okay. He said, but the crazy thing about it, it hadn't been an hour, and on one of the pictures, on one of the sites, you have over 35,000 likes. They want to know, who is this guy? I said, okay, okay. And I start sweating and everything. While I'm talking to him, my daughter calls. She's in California. And I'm thinking, for her to call that early, there's 2 things. Something's wrong, or she wants some money.
I know that's right.
It's one or the other, So I said, hey, man, hold on. This is my daughter. She's calling from California. So I went to her. I said, Jessica, is everything okay? She said, yeah, Dad. And I said, okay. She said, Dad, do you know you're trending? I said, Jessica, stop it. Whatever it's doing, stop it. She said, Dad, you can't stop that. I said, well, Jessica, I'm on the line talking to this other guy about these pictures. She said, yeah, Dad, you're trending. I said, well, send me a snapshot so I can see what you're talking about, right? So she said, okay, she did. I went to the other line with the guy, and I said, man, that was my daughter. She's in California. And she says, I'm trending. He said, yeah, man, you're trending. I had no idea what trending meant. I had no idea. And at that moment, I was in the classroom with my student. We were in the computer lab, and my students started saying, Mr. Randle, these are third graders. Mr. Randle, you're on the internet. Come see, come see. And I was talking on the phone to the guy, and I said, man, these pictures are out there. He said, yeah, man, you enjoy your day. These pictures are out there. I can tell you, Cam, from that day, they didn't know who I was until that evening. One of my friends said, yeah, I know that cat. That's Irvin Randle. He's here in Houston. And so when they found that out and that got out there, we found him. He's here in Houston. And Bossa gave me the hashtag of Mr. Steal Your Grandma. And I was like, I don't want to steal nobody's grandma. If I'm going to steal somebody, I'd rather steal your auntie because she's sassy. She'll do a lot of things. I'm going So I did get mad with that. I got so upset with that. I was like, why would they do that to me? Call me Mr. Why would they do that? I thank Bossa for doing that, because with that hashtag and getting my name out there as Irvin Randle, I can tell you, Cam, it have opened up so many doors for me at that time of 54, going places, people sending for me. I could tell you, sitting in my home, because I didn't finish that day's workout. I had to leave because I just felt like I was sick. Yeah, my principal came upstairs and said, you okay? You don't look good. You know what's going on with you? And I said, man, I don't know. I don't feel good. He said, well, go home. And I can tell you, I stayed in my house for 3 days. My friends came over. We were just watching the internet, how my picture was constantly, trending, going viral. Who is this guy? And it was just like, what's going on? And I could tell you, Cam, we looked at it as my family. We looked at it. This was a blessing because I asked for none of this. I didn't pay for it. Yeah, I didn't pay for it. I didn't sell my soul for it. I didn't ask for it.
You think it's something wrong? Something happened.
Yeah, we're like, where is this going to go? And then, of course, when things like this happen for you, there's the pros and cons, and then we start seeing the negative comments. Oh, he'll last 15 minutes. But somebody else decided, oh, no, he won't, because if God created this for this to happen to him, how can you shut this down? Right. So, I could tell you, Cam, just sitting in the house and enjoying those 2 days. But meantime, somebody had given out my phone number, and I've had the same phone number for almost 30 years now. And someone was kept calling me, and her name is Sheila. I'm not going to tell you last name. Her name is Sheila, and she just kept calling me. And so finally, I said, I'm going to answer this phone. Who is this Sheila person? Right. So when I did answer, that was on a Thursday. And she said, I've been trying to call you. When I said, hello, she said, I've been trying to call you, Mr. Randle. And I said, who is this? And so she said, this is Sheila. She said, I'm with Essence. And I was like, Essence, like the 4th of July in Essence in New Orleans? And so she said, yes. And so she said, I want you and your team to come down. So I had on speakerphone at this time. And she said, I want you and your team to come to Essence. And I was like, and I looked around at my friends. We was all sitting around. And I said, my team? I don't have I'm saying this in my mind. I don't have a team. And so she said, well, how many people are on your team? So everybody was over here said, 4. They said 4. So I said 4. So she said, okay, great. She said, somebody's going to call you back in a few minutes with all the details. We want you to we're going to send for you and your team. We want you to come here and enjoy Essence. We think this is fantastic, what's happening with you, and we want to, expose you on it. And I can tell you, Cam, going to New Orleans, that changed my life. That really changed my life. Yeah.
Wow.
That changed it.
I tell people one thing about it, just an humble spirit. You, my friend, have not changed.
I have not.
You are, no matter where you see us,
yeah.
or myself, you are always just the same person.
I am the same, yes.
You're the same person. You've been on William?
Life, Kim, when your life changed, I'm still Irvin, I'm still Irvin. But once you get out there, you have to be very careful. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And they had to, when I say they, I had to come up with a manager quickly, a PR quickly. I had to come with a team, even though I took my cousin. I said, okay, you're this and you that. And I took my other cousin. I said, you're the security guard,
Right.
And we just went down there on a whim, like we didn't know what to expect.
Right.
There reading and meeting the right people, and finally saying, okay, I met Darius McCray. He plays on Family Matters. I met his publicist, and she came up to me and she said, hey, if you need any help, let me know. So that's when I teamed with her. And when I did, I could tell you, Cam, I had to be taught a lot of things quickly, how to handle myself in public, because when people see me in public, they get real excited. They don't believe what they see. They want to smell me, want to pinch me, they want to hug.
Know that you're real.
No, I'm real, yeah. But I had to develop another side of me as to when I do go in public to be very careful, because the thing of it is, Cam, my mother, when she got a whiff of it, when we told her what was going on, and she said, well, baby, everybody don't love Irvin. So I had to be very careful where I go. And so that just goes back to, I had to turn myself into more private and be at home more. And when I do go out, sometimes I do go out by myself, but I make a quick run. I go to Kroger so quickly.
Incognito.
I go to Kroger so quickly, man, and I can hear him. That's him. That's him. Get him. That's him. And man, I take off walking so fast.
And you not only have you influenced with clothing, the beard. So many young people. I've had so many people say, Cam, we've changed our beard. Young 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds.
Yeah, with the beard. And the beard, let me tell you something about the beard. Gillette is sky high. And I was like, I can't do you no more, Gillette. Okay. And so I just said, I'm gonna let it grow. Just let it grow, And I found this place here in Houston on Kirby, this guy that specialized only in beards. And when I found out about him, you can go there and he's shampoo and condition and blow dry. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna let this grow. The first month it felt like ants was crawling on my face, but I'm gonna let this grow, know. That's what really helped, my brand as well, because if I shake it off, you wouldn't know who I was.
Exactly.
Look, have you ever seen a turtle out of his shell?
Exactly. After doing that, how do we get on the Wendy Williams show, the Real, ABC News? How does all of that come about?
Like I said, being down in New Orleans, and when we got in New Orleans, I mean, it just, everything was so quick. I mean, they just kept coming and coming and coming. And my son-in-law at the time was my manager, and he was so overwhelmed with everything. And we were like, okay. And then his phone started ringing. To tell you, the only regret that I have being in New Orleans is when the phone start ringing, you don't want to miss any opportunity, because we saw this, my son-in-law told me, well, you're a brand now. I said, what's that? What am I selling? You're selling yourself. So I said, oh, okay, what do I do? He said, no, just be you. And I can tell you, down there with the phone ringing and ringing and ringing, what we did was, or what he did when I decided to, when he told me about it, he said, well, Irvin, they want you to come to the club. And I was like, okay, what club? They want you to come to the nightclub. I said, okay. And he said, they're paying you to come there. I said, okay. He said, all you gotta do is go in there and wave and smile and take some pictures. And I said, okay.
And pictures, it was like
and I could tell you, I said, okay, but I told him, I said, well, if those things continue for me, I only want to do 10 clubs. I don't want to be known as the old man in the club all the time, So with Wendy Williams calling, and I could tell you this, there's a lot of social media out there, bloggers and everything out there. But Cam, when you hit TMZ, that's the word. when we hit TMZ and Inside Edition is kind of important too. But when you hit those platforms, you made it, and you made it. And from how we made it, I replaced Mr. Santa Claus. If you know about Mr. Santa Claus. Right. So when they said, move over, there's a new sheriff in town. So I was like, yeah, we made it. We made it now. Exactly. So the ride was so awesome there. But like I said, the only thing I regret of doing and not staying, we were leaving on a Sunday evening, right? And I could going to the airport, and I'm getting on the plane, and my phone rings. Now, the girl that's playing my publicist, she decided to stay another day because we're trying to get back to Houston. Everything is lining up for me to do that full week. Right. And I'm on the plane, and you can see the door closing. And so she said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm on the plane," and I got to hang up. And she said, "No, get off the plane now." I said, "I can't." She said, "They're doing a movie here, and they want you to be in a couple of scenes." And I said, "I can't." And I said, "What movie are they doing?" They said, "Oh, it's with Queen Latifah." And I was like, "Okay." I said, "But I can't." She said, "Okay." She said, "Let me tell somebody, you're on your way back. Give us an hour or two." And I could tell you, getting back to Houston and then trying to go back to New Orleans, it was impossible for me unless I drove for 6 hours, and I couldn't see that happening. And that was the only thing that I missed out on being in that movie of with Queen Latifah and all those girls, Tiffany Haddish, girls. Yes, I missed that opportunity, but I have to think about, well, if you missed it, maybe it wasn't for you. The next one will come along for you. So that's the only thing that I kind of beat myself up about as far as putting my brand really ahead. That would have been a great opportunity for me to be in that movie and be on the screen, But it's okay. Well, Hollywood do call me, so I have been out there a couple of times to read some parts. So hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, I will get one of those parts that they sent for me to read. So we'll wait and see.
Absolutely. From being a teacher and runway fashion, how did that change you?
Yeah, Cam, I don't want to be a model. I can't. I watch people comment, I have the worst walk in the world, and I had to I had to get on that, and I was like, I don't know. But I could tell you the first time I was in LA Fashion Week, this designer called me, and he said, in Burning Guitars, Smiley Jones, he has some excellent, crazy stuff. And he called and said, "Hey, Irvin, I want you to be in the fashion show out here." And I was like, okay. And we went. And I could tell you, when I saw the runway, I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this. And they gave me a couple of drinks and they relaxed my nerves.
Because that's a long runway.
Yes, it was a long. And he told me, so when you get out there, there's a piece of tape. It's an X. You stop there, and all the photographers, you just give it the best shot and look. He said, pretend like you're giving yourself a selfie. And I said, oh, okay, I can do that. And I can tell you, the moment I went out there and was walking down, they started clapping and screaming, and that just pushed my ego just worse than what it was. And hitting that spot, and I could tell you, giving it all that I could, and just killing it at that moment. Yeah. That felt so good to me. That felt so good. And I got back. I said, let me go again. He said, I ain't got nothing to put on. I said, no, find something,
Right.
So,
right. Absolutely.
Yes.
Being and so many people in Fashion Week, describe it for us. Fashion Week. What the coming from Houston and going to LA.
Going to LA for Fashion Week, it's different than going to New York. Yes. When New York called me and they said, hey, we want you on the fashion show here. Can you come out? Yeah, I can come out. And getting there, after being on Instagram for a minute and seeing all these other top models, these influencers, and seeing them is like, oh my God, I'm going to meet these guys, And, getting back there, getting backstage and seeing these guys, and these guys know me. Hey, Mr. Grant, and I'm like, oh my God, so I knew in my mind, Irvin, you have to go out here and kill it again, do it
Yeah.
again. But
Mhm.
I can tell you, being in New York and LA, New York is I mean, the adrenaline is there. You
Right.
know, the adrenaline is there because they know about fashion. Not to say LA don't know, but they know about fashion as well. But New York, that the fashion week there, it just pumps your heart. And I mean, you know, when you go out there and hit that runway and they're screaming and clapping and taking pictures, and you got all these top photographers out there, you know, posting your pictures everywhere. They're going
All
viral.
over the world.
Yeah, they're taking, you know.
Mhm.
You know, they wouldn't call me Irvin Randle. Mr. Steve, your grandma's here, and he did this.
Yes. You were no
You know,
longer Irvin Randle. You were Mr. Steal Your Grandma.
right, right. And getting out, you know, being there for 3 or 4 days and then getting out in the streets and they see me walking the streets there, it would just, it's a totally different feeling there. And you know, I was like, okay, I could do this, you know. And then when you're invited back for February, is a totally different feeling. So when you keep going back, it's always different, but it's more exciting, more exciting.
Absolutely. I love that. I love the fact that you embraced it.
Yes, yes. It has become, you know, when I go now, you know, I've been going for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
It had become to me so easy, you
Yeah.
know, getting there, hitting my mark, hitting my spot that I want to turn on and turn off, you know, getting my walk together. You know, they say, oh, this guy got the worst walk in the world. Well, I'm not a model, I'm a grandfather. So,
Right. Absolutely.
you know, but
Yeah.
that, you know, they said that the same thing about Naomi. You know, she said she had the worst walk, but look where
Yeah.
she is now.
Yes.
You
Absolutely.
know, that keeps people thinking, what is, you know, what is he going to do next? What's happening with him? So I am so glad that, you know, I have fans that still watch me, these guys that they support me and
Yeah.
all of the things like, man, you just don't know. This is truly a blessing for me,
Yeah.
able to, you know, come out and dress like this and show guys, hey, you just don't have to sit down because you're 50 years old. You don't have to sit down and wait on Jesus to come. He
I
coming,
know.
yeah, he coming, but you don't have to sit and wait.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that about you. You took the age to another level. You
Yes,
let young people even know we're
yeah,
still alive in here. We ain't dead.
yeah. And I can tell you, you know, when we look at numbers and everything for his Instagram and Facebook, most of my followers are between 24 and 35. Is at a 67%.
Wow.
So it tells us they're watching me just to see the process of what's going on and
Right.
what I'm going to do. You know, how's he keeping it together? Well,
Mhm.
I eat right, I exercise, I rest, I don't worry about nothing. You
Right.
know, if you upset me, I'll say what I got to say and I let it go. You know, things like that. I move on. You know, I don't like to play in mud. I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
So I just move forward. I move forward. I don't let anything that's not going to bother me that I can't change. So they
Right.
just don't know, you know, how much power they hold inside themselves. And some are holding it back because they walk with so much anger and it wears you down, you know?
Right.
You,
Right. I love
and,
the fact that you dress and live unapologetically.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I love
I
that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. You know, like I said, man, getting these clothes, you know, with these designers, they do send me things.
Yes.
I can tell you, Cam, I don't accept everything. I'll look at it and say, send that back. You know, I can't do that. Tell them I'm sorry. You know, you
Right.
just can't wear everything.
Everything. Right.
You just
Right.
can't wear everything. You know, I could tell you, I have a third eye that sits here. When I go into the dressing room or try things on, I look at not only is it going to make me happy and feel good, is it pleasing to the eye of somebody else? You know?
I know what you mean. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. You want to make sure that your
yeah.
brand is still what it was when you first started, even beforehand.
Right, right. Even beforehand, right.
Right. Even before all of this happened.
Yes, yes, yes.
I love that fact about you. I love the fact that you are teaching others.
Yes.
That gentleman is still a gentleman the whole way.
It's still the whole way. Let me tell you, even with that now, I've developed some friendship with some guys,
Yeah.
and we've started this little group,
Yeah.
the Silver Fox Squad.
Yeah.
Those are my boys. We all got something in common. You know, and I could tell you, working with these guys and talking to them and zooming with them, uh, you just think sometimes you're out here by yourself, but
Right.
everybody's out here together almost.
Right.
So working with those guys, and we have. Let me tell you this, man. We
Yeah.
have a huge project coming up. We have two sponsors. I can't tell you who the sponsors are.
Right.
You'll see in July and August. We have two sponsors that is supporting the group. We're going to do a video. We're doing some photos in Baltimore,
Uh-huh.
and we are so excited about that. And these guys, and actually, this will be actually two of the guys I already knew, Odell and Titus. I already knew them because I met them in New Orleans, and we've been back on the same ticket with Netflix in New Orleans. So I met them before, but these other guys I have never met before, and this will be the first time for all. And we just added a new guy in because he came with the look too. He kept asking, "Hey, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this." So we finally agreed. We voted, yeah, let's let this guy in. So now it's 9 of us. So we're all going to meet for the first time in Baltimore, and we just plan to kill the shot, kill the video, and have a good time in Baltimore.
And the group is called again. Let's give the group.
The group is Silver Fox Squad.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We did a challenge. We did a challenge video, and that's what really kicked it off. I did a challenge video with another group, and I thought, hey, let me call my boys up and see if they want to do this. And let me tell you something, Cam. When you're over 50, some people's heads are hard. They just don't follow directions. And I said, man, what you have to do is put on something normal, and somebody's going to throw a hanker, catch it with your right, and then you put the camera, then you back up, then you put your handkerchief, and then you change it to something more sharp and throw the handkerchief to the left. Man, they had handkerchief going there. When you're dealing with a bunch of old cats, everybody's head is, well, man, I did it that way. I'm not doing it no more. I said, man, all right, forget it. Man, we had handkerchiefs going everywhere. And I tell you, sitting there, and I had to put it together because it was my idea.
Right.
I'm just going to put this together, throw a song on it, and I'm going to let this go because I ain't going to do this anymore. And, doing that and slapping that Marvin Gaye song on that, that tore it up. And the ladies enjoyed it. We glad that, the video has been seen and viewed over 5 million times.
Yeah.
So, yes. So we are so glad to do that. And so when we did that, we said, okay, well, Mother's Day is coming up. We got to do something for Mother's Day. Right. So I said, okay, fellas, let's do the same thing. We're going to do flowers. Just sit still and hold your flower. Oh, man, they couldn't sit still. Some were blowing kisses, and they was doing. I was like, man, you know what? I can't.
That is too funny.
They were all over the place. Yeah.
That is too funny. What all do you have next? Because you have a lot of things going on, my friend.
Oh man, we have a lot. I can tell you, with the COVID-19, it kind of pushed everything back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I just launched my shoes yesterday.
Yes.
I put my shoes out yesterday.
Talk about your shoes.
Yeah, let me tell you something. When you're out here and you're working, you're hitting these streets in Cam, I done fell down 20 times. I done scarred my leg. And I thought, I'm doing all this hard work, and what do I want to do with this, So I decided to invest in myself. So with that shoe line, we launched it yesterday, and it's doing, and the people who are, thank you so much. You just don't know, Cam, how it is to put something out the first day, and some of the things have sold out, some of the things have sold out. So we had to make calls this morning and say, hey, we need some more, So that is an awesome feeling. That tells me that I have the support, from my community, and I appreciate that. Now, I do have a mixture of diversity in my following, but I can see when we look at the overall picture of it, my community is standing, they got my back. I'm just Irvin Randle from Houston. I'm the hometown boy. So I appreciate that 100% for my shoes, because I had been contract with other shoe companies and I made them some money, so it was time to make my money. Right. and do something with it, and I am, so I just so excited about that.
I was too, but just like the others, I didn't get a pair of shoes. I was trying to order the shoes sold out. I mean, what is that? I said the same thing, but I am so proud of you. I'm telling you about what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
And you got something next. What else you got going? Because I know you got lot of stuff.
Oh man, like I said, with the COVID-19, it pushed a lot of things back. I am still under contract with Fashion Nova. Yeah. So we were supposed to go out in May and do a big shoot there. Cardi B does a big party out there, and we do a big shoot and thing, big event out there with her, and then with Fashion Nova. So that's been put back. We have that coming up. Actually, I was supposed to go to Italy for Fashion Week over there, so that's been pushed back. Right. Doing that, I have a commercial with a liquor company that's been pushed back. So it's coming up. It's coming up. Everything is coming up and working for the best.
Absolutely. How did COVID-19 affect your industry?
With me, I could tell you when they would send me merchandise, and with my photographer, we would hit the streets, and out there, and they were constantly sending me things. Only thing, was that slowed me down a little bit was getting out there and have to wear a mask and being protected. Yeah. When the people see me, they want to run up to me and hug me, like I say, and smell me. And I had to be cautious of that, when somebody do, hey, stay back a little bit. No, I want to hug you. I want to smell. I stay back, So, with that and staying home for those 2 months, I could tell you, Cam, it was really good. I mean, I hate this all happened. I really do. Right. Lives have been gone, and I could tell you, Cam, for me staying at home, I decided to put myself under construction. And when I say that is, I just sit down and I got me a journal. I got a journal book, and I just start writing down things. What do I want to do from now on with myself?
Right.
Where do I want to go with this? Where's this leading me to? And I could tell you going to that I went to the last page and I said, moving to New York City, I said, moving to New York City. And I said, what would it take for me to get to New York City? And I just started listing some things. Me and my manager sit down and we just started listing some things that I want to do that's going to be comfortable for me, as put myself out still as a gentleman, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? And just writing that down. And I can tell you now, being at home for 2 months, I'm crossing some of those things out because I'm doing it, I'm crossing it out, besides gaining all this weight, put on this refrigerator every 15 minutes,
I know that to be true. What would you tell someone that has that dream inside of them, wanting to be in model, fashion, influence, or whatever? What would you tell them? They're at home right now during COVID, and they really don't want to go back to work. They never wanted the job, but they still had to make it for the family.
Right. I'm in the midst now. One of the things is I thought about opening a model agency, because I am right now, I do styling on the side. So I have 6 guys that I'm working with now, styling them. But one of the things I want to tell you is don't give up. Right. Never give up. Yeah. And where I am now, some doors have been closed on me, but we found another way to go around that door. That's not the only way in the building. Right. You find another way in the building. So don't give up. Keep going. Keep pushing forward. And you got to have a character as to when you walk in these meetings. And I can tell you, when we walk in these meetings, you just got to be ready. You have to be ready. You have to have the right attitude for it. And you have to be humble. Don't owe you anything. That's the way that we look at it when we walk in these meetings with these guys. Nobody owes me anything. When you get in there, you talk and you tell them, let them know who you are, how you are, but don't go in there thinking as to, you need to pay me and you need to pay me now. No, we don't look at it that way. You go in there and show them what you're worth. That's when you start playing with numbers. When you play with those numbers, you're on your way, because that's what they want to do. They want a number game. Right. So when we sit there and we slide numbers back and forth, we in the room. So it depends on how, when we walk out the room, are the numbers are favorable for us. Right. So with that being said, go in there with the right attitude, humble yourself. You don't get too far if you're mean and you're hateful and you want to talk to people like you don't have an education or anything like that. You got to go in and represent yourself as a gentleman, a grown lady. You know what I'm saying? Don't go in there and talking all this slang and they don't know, what is that? What you mean? I know. So I do, like I said, don't give up. If one door closed, go around. It's another way in the building. They got back doors. Yeah, they got back doors. I could tell you one of the brands, I'm not going to say the name, but one of the brands I was working with, I had reached out to them and said, hey, I want to do this. I want to do this with you. And we got to be like, the age thing. And I was like, age thing? Wait a minute. That's discrimination, first of all. But still, we found another way in the building. We found another way in the building as to when we got in there and that person saw me in there, was like, oh, how did you get in there? You're VP. Yeah. Okay. That's how we got in here. But thank you. And that's what you do. You find other ways to go where you need to go and don't let nobody say, hey, this ain't for you. Right. I don't take no for an answer quite, you tell me no, I'm going to say why, why, so we found a way as to when we get in there, man, give them what they want. Right. And that's when the revenue start coming in. Right. All those things, and it plays a part you just could never believe. And you wouldn't believe that you are there, Right. You wouldn't believe it. I'm counseling one guy right now. We're styling him. He's in LA. And when we get out there, I haven't been out there for the last 3 months, but when we went out there the last time, he wanted to go to this model agency, and we made contacts everywhere that we go. He wanted to be a model agent. He wanted to sign with them. And we went out there with him. He said, well, I've tried them. They said no. And I said, we'll come out there and we'll walk you in there. We're going in there with you. And sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. Yeah, it's like that sometimes too, so whatever it takes for you to get where you want to be with a humble heart and a good character, it'll work out for you. It'll work out. Absolutely. The other thing is, and you mentioned it, you don't take everything. You're not a branding for everything that comes to you. It'll come to you. It'll come to you. Like I told you, man, we're still saying no to some things, Yeah. With the beard, I am with S Curl. Now. Yes. Their beard product. And I constantly get other people calling me, hey, when is your contract up? We want you next, S Curl. Exactly. S Curl has been so nice to me, So no, not right now, because that company has been so nice to me, and they sent for me and they want me to do this and do that, and it's easy for me to do. So with that being said, you just don't settle for anything, Right. Absolutely. I'm so glad that we talked about the fact about people's dreams and what they're, what they can do at this time, because again, many people, even journaling, just write it down. Whatever your thoughts are, write it down. Write it down. And that's what I was doing, man. I'm just sitting here on the sofa and I would write things down. And like I said, I would call my manager. Hey, it's always good to get another opinion too.
Right.
Get somebody else input. You got to think about your pros and your cons here.
Mhm.
So, what if you do this? I've been asked to take some pictures without clothes on. Yeah, I've been asked, and I thought about it. I said, well, you're a teacher. You can't do that. So no, you can't, so some things you have to say no, but some things you just say no, maybe another time or something like that. Put it on a back burner or something like that, and hopefully they'll reach back out to you and where you can be a part of that. But you have to market yourself as to, I'm the best thing you ever seen. As my grandma said, are you the best since white bread came along? you know, you have to market yourself as to, first of all, they want to make money off of you and they want to put money in your pocket. So you have to market yourself the correct way in order to be successful like that. And don't forget to be humble about it.
Absolutely. So many people. I just had a question. Someone is asking, do you have to leave Houston to be successful in fashion?
I don't think so. It depends on where you want to be. Houston is a good market to have fashion.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think, and I'm just going to speak for me.
Right.
I'm into fashion. When you're really into fashion, you have to go. And so I would probably tell that person, yes, follow your dreams where you have to go.
Right.
You have to go to these different places where fashion is more, when I say alive, I'm not going to say Houston is not alive.
Right.
I see some cats around here, you know what I'm saying? But when you go on that East Coast, when you go to Europe, and places like that where you see fashion is alive, and that's what they live and thrive for. So, I mean, if that's in your heart and you're able to do it, yes, follow that. But I know some friends here who are designers. Rick God is here. He's doing awesome with his designs. So with that being said, maybe you do it, maybe you don't. You weigh that out yourself. You weigh that out yourself and see what's best for you, and and being successful.
Absolutely. Do you ever think for entertainment or anything, do you think Houston would be on the forefront as New York and LA?
Let me tell you, man, Houston, I've been in Houston all my life. I moved to LA a couple of years, and I moved to Oakland. I've been in Oakland a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, we are a city, when you look at fashion,
yes,
we are a city that is kind of behind fashion a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of behind.
Yes.
So we haven't caught up yet, Mm-hmm. We're still into plaids and fabrics and things like that. When you go to New York, you may see some plaids. I'm not going to tell you they're not there, but you don't see as much plaid because we're known as a Southern cow town.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you see all these plaids and these jeans and all these different things, that's more of a Southern fit.
Yeah.
But when you go to New York, you don't see that there. You see the jeans there, but you see more of a fashion statement there. And it's here a little bit. The percentage is real low. But when you go to New York on the East Coast, Philadelphia, when you go there and you see those guys and those ladies dressing like, oh my God, oh my God. And it builds in the way that they walk and carry themselves, you look good and all this other kind of stuff, and it's hitting you in the right place, and the confidence is there,
Yes.
Yes.
Going other places, and I guess coming back here, the difference I see in the fashion is that they dress to go to Walmart. They dress to go to Kroger's.
Yeah, with that plaid shirt.
I'm just saying, instead of falling out of the bed and going wherever, wearing the same, that type of thing.
Right, but I'm gonna tell you, Cam, and I'm gonna speak on the guy, because ladies, is no way that you should be walking out your house looking like, there's no way. Y'all have more things and than a man does. You know, we got our basic brown, blue, black for us, you know, and you're afraid to step out into some color. I'm the type of man, I'm not afraid to wear pink pants, yellow pants, whatever, you know. You know, I don't care because that's fashion. That's fashion. Yeah. You know, you have to be open up to what you want to wear. You know, I talked to Tim the other night, and we were talking, and Tim is going on the Baltimore trip from what I hear. He's going with us, and I saw a picture of Tim in a kilt, and I said, Tim, bring that kilt with you. Maybe I can take a picture of that while I'm in Baltimore. You know. No, I'm not afraid of fashion. To me, it's easy. You know, the people are going to talk about you either way. So it is what it is. But fashion is fashion. You just can't be stuck in a box and say, "Hey, I got this on. This is fashion." No, that look like the same person that got it on down the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to Tim Thorne, style and influencer. He is one of the best. Let's do this. How do people get in touch with you if they want to? What's your social media? I'm saying social media platforms.
Now I only have, you know what, I'm so glad you, and thank you for mentioning this to me. You know, when you are out there, Cam, you have people out there, and we get it all day, and we try to shut it down. Only way I have a personal Facebook page. That's the only page that I had a fan page, but someone hacked into it and took it away from me. So I had two pages, but I only have one page on Facebook, and I have one page on Instagram with that little blue check. They verified me. So that's the only page that I have. You know, like I said, getting into the position, your pros and cons. And the cons of this is people out there making these fake pages, and they're reaching out to these women. Cam, let me say this. I would never ask a woman for her money. That make me less of a man. I would never do that. So I want your listeners to know, if you see anything with a picture, and I'm on no dating site. No, I'm married. I'm on no dating site. I'm in love. So
wait a minute. You just shut down all my listeners. They're all leaving.
But look, I'm gonna tell you like Jesse Jackson, keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Look, I only have one site on Instagram with that little. All those other pages, they are not mine. They are not mine. So don't get involved. And ladies, please don't send your money to somebody that's pretending to be me. That's not me. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. That's not me.
I tell you, what would you last want to leave with our listeners? That's it. Our show. Can you believe it?
I just want to say, this is an honor for me. This is a blessing. This is a blessing from God for me. I do fall to my knees. I do cry. And I thank God for giving me this and putting me out there in the forefront for other guys to see, to keep hope alive, after 50. Because after 50, we're supposed to go downhill,
We're close to death, huh?
You're close to death, yeah. But man, age, death don't have no age on it.
Exactly. Not now.
Not now, and I just want to thank God, allowing me to do this. I'm going to tell you this right quick. I live across the street, and everybody know where I live. I live across the street from Herman Park, and I get out and I run in the morning, and I can tell you some of my brothers and sisters that I see out there, and they see me running, and they say, "Oh, Mr. Randle, thank you so much. You encouraged me to get out of here. My blood pressure was up, everything dropping, I'm losing weight, and you encouraged me because I thought after 50, I was supposed to stay at home." I said, "Yeah, you do supposed to stay at home, but still, being that person where people can identify, with me, what I've been through with the losing weight and exercise and eating right, and want to live longer. Man, I want to see my grandchildren. I want to see my grandson get married. I want to see my granddaughter get married. So doing those things, I want to live longer and healthy, But I just appreciate Houston having my back. You know, when I go out in the streets, I go to Walmart. I hate going to Walmart. When I go to Walmart, man, it's like a movie in there. When I go to places, it's like a movie in there. It's like, golly, you know. So thank you so much. You know, I appreciate your support when you see me. I appreciate it so much, and just having my back and see where I'm going with this as an older gentleman. I just appreciate it 110%.
Man, Mr. Irvin Randle, my friend, I appreciate this interview.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate what God has blessed on you. Wishing you all the best.
Thank
all
you.
of God's blessings and overflowing favor, my friend.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate the interview, my friend.
Thank
That's
you.
it for the Cam Hill Show on GMT Radio, Monday through Friday, 12:30 to 1:30. That's Mr. Steele, your grandma. Take care, my friend. I appreciate you. Talk to you.
Okay.
Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.
All right.